The morning was serene, with soft sunlight filtering through the trees. Buddha sat peacefully under the great Bodhi tree. His disciples had gathered, forming a quiet circle, their faces reflecting devotion and yearning for wisdom. From afar, a man approached, dressed in fine silk and adorned with gold. He was a wealthy merchant, his face lined with worry and exhaustion. Bowing deeply before Buddha, the merchant's voice trembled as he spoke. "Blessed One, I seek your guidance to free myself from relentless worry and fear." Buddha smiled gently and gestured for him to sit among the disciples. "Speak, dear friend," Buddha said, his voice calm and inviting. The merchant hesitated, then began. "I am burdened by the thought of losing my wealth. Each night, these fears rob me of peace." Buddha listened intently, nodding slightly as the merchant poured out his concerns. When the merchant finished, silence lingered. Buddha reached down, picking up a small pebble from the earth. "Tell me," Buddha began, holding the pebble aloft, "does this pebble weigh heavily upon your mind?" The merchant chuckled softly, confused by the question. "No, Blessed One," he replied. "It is insignificant, a mere speck compared to my worries." Buddha extended the pebble toward the merchant, placing it in his open palm. "Hold this pebble," Buddha instructed, "and imagine it as your most cherished treasure." "Sudatta," Buddha replied, "release comes not from force, but from insight. Begin by sharing what you have with those in need." Buddha observed him with serene compassion. "How does it feel, to cling so tightly?" Buddha asked, his voice steady and kind. The merchant winced, opening his hand. "It begins to feel heavy, though its weight has not changed," he admitted. Puzzled by the insight, Buddha nodded, his eyes reflecting infinite understanding. "So it is with wealth, my friend. Money in itself is neither burden nor solace. It is the attachment we create that weighs upon our souls. Generosity," Buddha added, "is not merely giving material wealth. It is cultivating a spirit of love, kindness, and shared humanity." A young disciple beside Buddha whispered softly to another. These teachings resonate deeply, crossing boundaries of caste, trade, and fortune. Buddha continued, "The pebble can rest lightly in your hand, or it can become an anchor to your spirit. The choice lies within you." Sudatta inhaled deeply, as if breathing in not air, but the very essence of a newfound purpose and understanding. "I understand. Blessed One," Sudatta said, his voice firm with resolve. "I will transform my wealth into tools of compassion. Practice the art of generosity," Buddha replied. "In giving freely, we ease the bonds of possession and discover true freedom." The merchant looked up, his eyes moist with gratitude and dawning clarity. "But, Lord," he asked, "how can I give, when fear still grips my heart so strongly?" Buddha reached out and gently closed the merchant's hand around the pebble once more. "Start with something small. As you hold this pebble, give it to the earth, and notice the relief within." The merchant opened his hand again, this time letting the pebble fall softly to the ground. A visible lightness crossed his features, as though a small weight had indeed lifted. "I understand," the merchant whispered, bowing his head. "Wealth is neither friend nor foe. It is our grasping that binds us to suffering." The sun dipped below the horizon, its fading light a metaphor for the impermanence Buddha so often spoke of wisely. "Buddha," another disciple asked, "can Sudatta truly find peace, even after years of attachment to wealth and material possessions?" Buddha replied softly, "The path is open to all who walk it sincerely, regardless of where they begin their journey. But remember, the path to liberation is not quick. It requires patience and constant mindfulness." The merchant remained seated as Buddha turned back to his disciples, offering his timeless teachings. "Fear stems from craving," Buddha said, his voice reaching every corner of the gathered circle. "Craving arises when we seek permanence in impermanent things. Wealth, like the pebble, is subject to time and change. Understanding this truth allows us to live in harmony with the flow of life. The wind rustled the leaves, carrying Buddha's words gently across the clearing. The disciples listened intently, their spirits uplifted by the clarity of the teachings. Buddha concluded, "The pebble, the wealth, the fears, they are not separate from us. But they do not define us either. What defines us is the wisdom to see through the illusion of attachment." The merchant remained deep in thought as the gathering dispersed, his heart lighter, his path clearer. For the first time in many moons, he smiled, feeling the beginnings of peace within. Another day, another sun rose, casting golden rays across the quiet gathering. Buddha sat beneath the great Bodhi tree. His disciples formed a semicircle, their expressions filled with reverence and quiet anticipation. From the shadows, a beggar approached, clutching a golden bowl in trembling hands. Bowing low before Buddha, he spoke hesitantly, "Blessed One, this bowl has become a source of worry and despair for me." Buddha regarded the beggar with soft eyes, his expression tranquil and inviting. "Speak, friend," he said gently. "Tell me your burden." The beggar hesitated, then said, "This bowl was gifted to me by a kind benefactor. Its value brings constant fear of theft and envy." Buddha extended his hand toward the beggar, inviting him to place the golden bowl in his palm. "What do you use this bowl for?" Buddha asked, his voice steady and calm. The beggar replied, "I eat and drink from it, Blessed One, but its value weighs heavily upon my heart." Buddha studied the bowl for a moment, then placed it back in the beggar's hands. "Did you eat and drink before you received this bowl?" he inquired. The beggar nodded, saying, "I did, Lord, but my bowl was made of clay. It was humble and brought no concern." Buddha gazed at the beggar, his voice filled with clarity. "Does the bowl feed you? Or do you feed yourself?" he asked. The beggar stared at the golden bowl, then answered, "It is I who feeds myself, Lord, not the bowl." Buddha nodded, his smile gentle and profound. "So it is with all possessions," he said. "They are but tools, vessels to serve a purpose. So, too, must we balance our inner and outer lives." Another disciple said, "Master, some renounce wealth entirely to pursue enlightenment. Whether the bowl is gold or clay, it fulfills the same role," he said. "Its value is an illusion." "But Blessed One," Cassie asked, "what can I share when my hands are empty and my family is constantly in need?" Buddha smiled gently, his calm expression carrying a wisdom deeper than words, his silence offering room for reflection. "Share your kindness," Buddha replied. "Your wisdom, your patience, and your love." Buddha continued, "Place your trust not in objects, but in your own effort and the generosity of the world." The beggar looked up, his eyes filled with longing. "Cassie," Buddha said, "true prosperity is not what you keep for yourself, but what you give to uplift others in need." The farmer lowered his head, his thoughts shifting, his heart no longer heavy with despair but blossoming with gratitude and resolve. "Keep it, but release your fear," he said. "Use it mindfully, and its weight will lessen." The disciples turned to Buddha, their questions forming, their hearts yearning for further wisdom to guide their paths ahead. "Buddha," one disciple asked, "how can we support those like Cassie, who struggle but seek the path to contentment and wisdom?" Buddha gazed at the disciple, his expression serene, his presence embodying the teachings he now prepared to share further. "Objects are transient," he said, his voice carrying wisdom across the clearing. "They are neither the source of joy nor the cause of suffering." Another day, another chance, Buddha said, to nurture gratitude, embrace generosity, and find peace within the impermanence of existence. The disciples bowed their heads. The wisdom shared a guiding light that transcended the boundaries of time and circumstance. Fear binds us. Mindfulness frees us. The disciples bowed their heads, their spirits uplifted by the clarity of Buddha's words. The beggar remained seated, his gaze fixed upon the bowl in his lap, as the gathering dispersed. The beggar stood, clutching the golden bowl in a new way. His hands were steady, his heart lighter. With each step, he carried not the burden of wealth but the lesson of wisdom. Another day, another storm had passed, leaving the earth damp and the air fragrant with renewal. Buddha sat beneath the great Bodhi tree. His disciples formed a circle, their faces serene, waiting for wisdom to pour forth. From the fields, a farmer approached, his steps slow and heavy, his face etched with despair. Bowing deeply before Buddha, he began to speak. "Blessed One," the farmer said, his voice trembling, "a storm has destroyed my crops. My debts grow, and hopelessness consumes me." Buddha gazed at the farmer, his expression calm and compassionate. "Sit with us, friend," he said, gesturing to the space before him. The farmer settled, his shoulders sagging, his gaze fixed on the ground. Buddha reached for a handful of soil, letting it sift gently through his fingers. "Tell me, farmer," Buddha began, "what do you see when you look upon your fields?" The farmer frowned, his brow furrowing deeply. "I see emptiness, Lord," he replied. "The storm has left destruction and loss behind." Buddha nodded, his gaze steady and thoughtful. "And yet," he said, "beneath the soil lies life. Seeds waiting for their moment to grow." "Bimbasara," Buddha said, "your wealth and power are tools. Use them wisely, with compassion, to uplift and serve your subjects. Death is but a number," Buddha said softly. "Your spirit and hands hold infinite capacity to create and rebuild. True strength," Buddha said, "is not in dominance but in the courage to lead with wisdom, kindness, and selflessness." Bimbasara nodded slowly, his thoughts shifting like the sands of a riverbank reshaped by the gentle flow of eternal wisdom. "Lord," he asked, "how can I begin again when my resources are scarce and my strength wanes?" Buddha gestured toward the damp soil before them, his voice steady and kind. "Plant one seed at a time," he replied. "Let each day be a planting, not only of crops but of gratitude and effort." The farmer bowed his head, silent as Buddha continued. "Loss is fleeting," Buddha said. "It teaches us to appreciate abundance and to trust in the impermanence of all things." "Sacrifice the illusion of permanence," Buddha replied, "and embrace impermanence as a teacher. In letting go, you will find true freedom." Buddha concluded, "Focus on the seeds of potential within yourself, and you will cultivate more than fields. You will cultivate peace and resilience." The farmer remained deep in thought, his heart a mixture of heaviness and lightness. As the gathering dispersed, for the first time in many moons, a small smile graced his lips, with a heart newly touched by wisdom. The farmer stood and turned toward his fields. Sada sat by the stream, his fingers dipping into its cool waters, seeking inspiration and solace from the endless flow. The stream seemed to whisper its wisdom to him, its gentle melody resonating with Buddha's teachings shared moments ago. And so began his journey of renewal, planting both seeds and strength along the way. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.